Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of Fantastic Four issue 4. And this was a pretty good issue. It set up the Fantastic Four's kind of return to New York City and kind of their status quo at that point, while also wrapping up the whole aftermath of their battle with the Griever. So the issue starts off, and we see this guy doing this report that somebody's breaking into this store, and we find out it's the Wrecking Crew. And they actually do validate their plan pretty well. They're like, wow, they're robbing this place in broad daylight. It's like, yeah, everyone in the Fantastic Four ever has suddenly disappeared, so why wouldn't we do this? But then this one lady brings up this gun and says, hey, there's still heroes around, shoots off the flare, and the Fantastics pop up on the scene. Essentially kind of a knock-off Fantastic Four kind of thing going on. I'm interested to see what they kind of do with the Fantastics going forward, because we don't get much on them in this issue, other than seeing kind of their power set being used, but we don't really get much of them going in. So that's where it kind of then transitions to what's going on with Reed and the rest. They're getting the teleporter ready, and they just start sending people back in waves, and it was a pretty good exit strategy for certain ones. You'd be like, alright, will this work and everything? Yeah, we see Val acting stupid around Ouroboros, and I kind of liked where that kind of went towards the end, because they're like shuttling people off. We see Spidey trying to talk to Wolverine, wondering if he's the regular Wolverine back from the dead, or the past, or all that kind of stuff. And he's like, we ain't talking about that. A nice way to get around it. Also did the same thing with the Ghost Rider, but he didn't speak. He's like, alright, I guess we're not talking about that. He's like, oh, we'll see you at the Baxter Building. And Spidey's like, oh, wait, I forgot to tell you, Reed. And Johnny's like, it's okay. He's like, we got some stuff that we're going to have to talk about. And Reed was also like wondering, why did it bring the Hulk around? He's like, okay, Dr. Banner. He's like, yeah, I don't appreciate being manipulated like this, so just take me back. And it's like, it's not me you gotta worry about. It's the big dude that holds the grudges as he gets teleported back. And towards the end of them shuffling everybody back to Earth, he pulls Val aside, and she's like, why are you screwing this up for me with the prince? He's like, listen, I don't have a problem with the prince. I got a problem with you acting dumb around him. You're smart, smarter than me. Be yourself. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I like that that's why Reed was kind of upset with Val's approach to speaking to the prince. And she's like, alright, yeah, thanks. And then they hug it out, and they pretty much get ready to take themselves home. And while they're about to take themselves home, the Future Foundation saying goodbye to Val and Franklin, because they have decided, along with the Dragon Man, to scour the cosmos and the multiverse to try and find Molecule Man to bring him back. Like, if one molecule survived, they could attempt to bring him back. And I'm like, wow, that is really cool that Molecule Man has had such an impact that they're like, we have to save him. It's a great turn from someone who you would consider to be kind of, in the beginning of his conception, a kind of hokey villain, to what they made him rightly into a powerhouse of a super person, and then him being kind of a hero and trying to protect people that he cares about. And I'm like, they're trying to do that back. And all seeing them as they're trying to like say goodbye and all that kind of stuff is pretty cool. And they kind of go off and do their thing, all being told that they're the leaders of the Fantastic Four are proud of them for what they are and what they're going to accomplish. So that's pretty cool. We could have some pretty interesting side stories whenever we have any breaks with the FF. So they eventually get back to New York, and it's in the middle of the brawl going on between the Wrecking Crew and the Fantastics. And Johnny's like, did you transport us to the wrong world, Reed? We've already been replaced? What the hell is going on here? While Ben and Franklin decides to go off and kind of check in on Alicia, we got Reed, Sue, Johnny, and Val pretty much trying to take on what's going on here. They decide to go in. Reed tells Val to stay back because they need to let the superpowered people go for it, and she's kind of pissed off about that, but we learn why they did that later. Now, Reed and Sue were kind of staying back. Johnny kind of got into it and kind of like mixed it up a little bit and created the usual kind of tension that happens whenever superheroes battling supervillains and then other superheroes get in the mix. He kind of messes it up with certain things, and they see that there's a lot of people with signs already, and that someone yelled out one of the Fantastics' names. And Reed's like, that's kind of weird that he knows her name. If this is like their big appearance and everything. Of course, the woman that had the flare gun to summon him is doing press and everything, and Val's like, I got it. I know I'm back here. And she has a line on her like, sorry, Dad, it took me a little bit while, kind of little interdimensional jet lag. As she goes and it's like, oh yeah, but shouldn't this be more about the Fantastic Four coming back and everything? And she like shouts out to the wrecking crew, she's like, hey, whatever they're paying you, we'll double it. And then they're like, deal! And it's like, then the stretch guy for the Fantastics is like, oh, this is bad. He's like, oh, crap. It is not good for this to be known that at first he thought it was real. And they're like, oh God, our PR person, our manager paid for this. And they're the ones in the Baxter building. So I was like, okay. So they get that all wrapped up and the wrecking crew is like, we're still going to get paid, right? It's like, I'm a teenager. Whatever I said is not legally binding. It's like, yes. It was really a cool kind of way to get the Fantastic Four back into Earth and just kind of back into their situation, finding out that the Fantastics have the Baxter building. Johnny filling them in that Spidey got super rich, got the building, then lost all of his money, had to sell the building, and now they're here. And while that's going on, we see Ben and Franklin reminiscing, like, getting back with Alicia, and she's like, I'm glad you're back. Now, we need to get married, like, tomorrow, because you got sucked up in an interdimensional frickin' adventure on that roof, and who knows what could happen. I'm like, that's why you married her. She knows. She's good. She got this. So, after that kind of stuff, we had Ben come in with this, like, Fantastic Four hover cart, which was kind of cool. Picked him up, took him to Yancey Street and all that. I'm like, yeah, you got this. Hey, Stretch, I got the whole building. And it's got the number 4. And I'm like, yeah, there we go. Building number 4. Good way to just have a fresh start for the Fantastic Four and just really get it going. I'm like, alright. Love the premise. Love seeing everything kind of getting back together. Cool to see that the family's all back together and we can just see what's going on. We can just, everything's up for play, and I can't wait to see what they do next. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.